Hello, my name is Rene Allie, student number ALL80097. This is my practical assessment communication skills 2. Okay. Good morning, Ethan. Nice to meet you.
Alright.
How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm okay.
You alright? Okay. So what brings you into counselling today?
You know, I really don't have any idea. Apparently my parole officer thinks that I've got some issues or something, like anger issues.
Okay. And why do you think your parole officer, Lisa, I think her name is, yeah, has asked you to address these issues today?
I mean, I guess I do have some anger issues, and sometimes, you know, in certain situations I only get from 0 to 100.
Okay. Can you tell me more about that, Ethan?
Alright, for example, I was with Lisa last week, and she was asking me all these stupid questions, and I just didn't know how to answer her.
Okay.
And basically I just lost it with her.
Okay. So I hear you say when you become frustrated in particular situations, you become extremely angry and you feel that you're unable to control it. Is that right so far?
Yeah, like, I know I've got anger issues, so I'm willing to give this counselling stuff a go.
Excellent. So, well, I do think that we can work on this together. Are you able to clarify for me maybe what frustrates you?
I mean, I feel like nobody listens to me, really. Like, the only way that I ever get heard is when I'm actually angry and it gets out of control.
Okay.
And I'd love to be able to communicate better before it actually becomes,
Before it
that
escalates
problem.
to that situation? Okay. So you admit to using anger as a communication strategy. However, you acknowledge that this is something that you would like to change. So you also feel unheard, which is kind of an injustice to you, which is where the frustration comes into play. Am I hearing you correctly so far?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. So Ethan, you've mentioned a few areas that you'd like to work on. So one being your anger issues, 2 being you'd like to be able to communicate more effectively with others, and 3 being gaining a sense of being heard, basically. So if you were to prioritise these, which one would you choose to work on first?
Effective communication, definitely.
Okay. So, in order to help you with this, I do have an exercise that I would like you to try and implement into your daily life.
And what would that be?
Okay, it's known as the 3-second rule. So how it works is when you're engaging in a conversation with somebody and you feel yourself slowly getting frustrated and angry, rather than reacting immediately without thought, you will need to count to 3 to gather yourself before you respond. It will allow you to see the rationale of a situation.
I mean, I guess I can manage that, but do you really think that's going to help?
Absolutely. I would also like you to write down the emotions and feelings you have during the 3 seconds and to note down the other person's reaction to your calmer response. Is that all manageable for you so far?
Seems easy enough, I guess.
Okay. Well, it is an easy task, but you'll be amazed how helpful it will be. It will allow us an opportunity to go back and reflect on these emotions and to see if we can work on that in any way.
Here we go again. I'm always being told that I gotta change, I need to work on myself. I just lose it sometimes, that's all. It's really not that big of a deal.
Okay, I understand where you're coming from, Ethan. We all get frustrated at times, which often leads to anger, and it can be very hard to control. So please don't feel like this is a personal attack on you by any means. However, Ethan, I do hear discrepancies in what you were telling me. You first told me that you would like to be an effective communicator and acknowledge that when you feel frustration, it leads to anger. But now I hear you say it's not a big deal. I sense that you're feeling conflicted about this issue.
Yeah, okay, I see what you mean. I know I need help and that I gotta change. I don't know why I get like that sometimes. It used to happen a lot more when I was a kid too.
Okay. So really, let's go ahead and discuss your younger years, Ethan. So how was your childhood growing up?
It's complete garbage.
Okay.
Hated my family and they always made me so angry. Just can't take them.
So can you tell me why your family makes you so angry?
My dad's an alcoholic.
Yeah.
My mum was never around, so I don't know what she looks like or anything.
Okay.
And both of my brothers are in jail. My childhood was horrible. I didn't have anyone I could rely on.
Right. Well, thank you for sharing that, Ethan. And let me just say how sorry I am that your upbringing was not an easy one. Do you think that all this pent-up anger that you project to others is actually anger that you feel about your family?
I mean, now that you mention it, yeah, it's how I ended up on parole.
Okay.
I assaulted a police officer because he was questioning me about not having my license. But all I could see when he was pushing me towards like responding was my father.
Okay. Right, and how do you think that the officer felt when he was only doing his job?
He probably felt horrible, you know. I feel terrible for what I did. It was the wrong thing. He was just doing his job. But like I said, I just kept seeing my father like attacking me when he kept asking me these questions.
Okay. So I feel that we are making excellent progress. We've actually found the root to your anger and frustration. So once we peel away the layers, we start to see what we need to focus on to bring back positive energy into our lives.
I'd love it because I hate being so negative all the time. So
Okay, yep. Well, I believe that we can get there, Ethan. Together as a team, we can work on this. But what do you say? Are you willing to participate in that at all?
yeah, I'm willing. This counselling stuff isn't so bad after all.
Great. I'm very glad to hear that. So let's just take a moment to recap what we've been discussing during our session today. So we started off by you sharing with me that you feel frustrated at times, which leads to anger. At first you did not think much of it, but you've come to the realization that it is something that you would like to change. We identified 3 things that you would like to work on, which were your anger issues, becoming an effective communicator, and you would like to feel like you were being heard. You then chose anger issues as your first area that you would like to address.
Mm-hmm.
From there we set out 3 goals. So in order to help us progress into resolving this area, these were the 3-second rule, reflection or emotional diary keeping, and secondary party reactional notes. We also uncovered that your anger issues stem from your childhood and holds a strong emotional connection to your father. Is that all accurate so far?
Yeah, that seems very accurate. I'm pretty grateful because I feel like it's the first time I've ever been listened to properly.
Oh wow, excellent, okay. Well, that's great, Ethan. We'll continue to discuss your childhood further in our next session. But for now, I would like you to concentrate on the emotional goals that we've set out because it's a very important step.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, good. So it's important to me that our time together has been beneficial for you.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that you would like to share about our session and our time together today, Ethan?
Well, I feel good about discussing things with you because, you know, I've never opened up about my family to anyone before.
Right.
But I feel comfortable around you. I'd like to talk more about my family next time because I think there are some things that you have to know.
Yeah.
But all in all, I'm pretty happy.
Great. And is there anything that you feel is not working for you during our sessions? Any changes that you'd like made?
Well, oh yeah, can we have our next session outside maybe? Because being inside makes me feel restricted and trapped.
Yeah, of course. How about, a cafe or even a park? How does that sound?
I suppose that's good.
Excellent. And just to backtrack a little, Ethan, on what we were discussing earlier,
Sure.
I have to agree with you on the point you made about feeling heard. So I feel that by you getting in touch emotionally with your feelings regarding your family has allowed you to get a better understanding of your anger issues, therefore enabling you to express yourself to me in a calm, appropriate manner. And let me just say, I believe that this was your first step to effectively communicating with somebody. So that was great. And you've actually managed to minus the aggression out of the situation. So that's fantastic. I've got to commend you on that. So effective communication is all about how we communicate with others and how they receive our messages. So if you're verbally aggressive, then the other party may not be listening to you. They might even switch off altogether. But by remaining calm and rational, chances are much higher when it comes to being heard. Is this all making sense to you so far, Ethan?
Yeah, I suppose I see where you're coming from. You know,
Excellent.
never thought about it like that. What's it called? Our session today has shed so much light on so many things, and
Yep.
I know I've got a long way to go, but I think I can do it.
Excellent. Well, if we work towards our goals, anything is possible, Ethan, okay?
Hopefully.
Yeah, of course. You have the ability to control this. Remember that you're not alone, like when you attempt to try to rectify all these issues that you're having. So whenever you feel that you need to reach out, you do have my personal email address, shoot me an email. But if you feel that the matter is urgent, then please call into my office and we'll schedule you in an urgent appointment. But honestly, I think you're going to be fine.
Yeah, I think I can manage.
Excellent. So, Ethan, I have actually found 2 other options for you that I'd like you to be able to use, in between our sessions together. So, first one being an anger management class that's available in your area. It's on twice a week in the evenings. So I think that, you can benefit from that. The second one is an online support group, which is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can log on. There are other parties having, similar issues such as yourself that you can discuss. It's sort of like a forum, a group.
Oh yeah.
So, I think that those 2 options would be great for you and, they're very beneficial for you and your circumstances.
Thank you.
Yeah, so it's just, a bit of support for you. Great. Well, Ethan, that concludes our session today. But I would like to see you again in a fortnight just to touch base, see how things are going. And I'll also be forwarding a short report to Lisa, your parole officer, just so she can be made aware of the progress that you've made. All good?
Sweet. So I just book in with the reception now?
Yeah, that's perfect. Make your next appointment, and I'll see you in a fortnight.
Alright, thank you.
You're welcome.